Ladies and gentlemen, there's a temptation in our world today to broadcast every effort, to share every step of the journey as if progress only counts when it's seen. Social media thrives on this urge, rewarding us with likes, comments, and fleeting validation. But here's the truth. The most impactful work is done when no one's watching. The most meaningful progress happens in the quiet moments, far away from applause. I am Michael Dole, Esquire, because what really drives success is not external recognition, it's internal discipline. It's waking up every day and committing to your vision, knowing full well that nobody is cheering you on in the background. The people who change the game, the ones we admire most, weren't driven by the need to prove themselves to the world. They were driven by something deeper, a belief in the work itself. When you work in silence, you take the noise out of the equation. The distractions fade, and all that remains is the craft, the effort, and the purpose. And that's where the magic happens. That's where skills sharpen, ideas mature, and momentum builds. It's not glamorous, and it's rarely celebrated, but it's in those silent hours that greatness is forged. What's more, silence gives you something even more valuable than focus. It gives you ownership. When you work for recognition, the praise belongs to the crowd. But when you work in silence, the results belong to you. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth because your work speaks for itself, louder than any announcement. 2025 is another year of opportunity. It's another chance to build, to learn, to grow. But let this year be different. Let it be the year you move quietly, not out of fear, not out of hesitation, but out of confidence. Because when you truly believe in what you're doing, you don't need to shout about it. The results will echo far louder than words ever could. So commit to the process. Do the work when no one's watching. Trust that your efforts will pay off, and when they do, they'll speak for themselves. Let this be the year you show the world, not by what you say, but by what you do. How does that feel? Would you like to tweak the tone or add anything more? True progress happens in the quiet moments, away from applause. The real work that defines success is done when no one is watching. Discipline outweighs external validation. It's not about proving yourself to others. It's about committing to the process and believing in your purpose. Silence removes distractions and amplifies focus. When the noise fades, you can fully dedicate yourself to sharpening your skills and perfecting your craft. Ownership comes from working for yourself, not for recognition. The results of quiet work belong to you, not the opinions of others. The loudest statement you can make is the work you produce. Actions and results will always speak louder than announcements or declarations. Confidence thrives in silence. When you trust in your work and your vision, you don't need to shout. The outcome will echo louder than words. Would you like me to expand on any of these? True progress is not defined by how many people notice the steps you take or the effort you put in. It doesn't rely on the cheers of others or the spotlight of attention. Instead, progress lives in the quiet, uncelebrated moments when no one is watching. It's in those early mornings or late nights when you push yourself, not because anyone expects it, but because you know it's necessary. It's in the small, incremental changes, the daily habits that may seem insignificant on their own, but compound into something remarkable over time. In a world that constantly demands proof of productivity, it's easy to feel like the work we do in private doesn't count. But the truth is, those unseen efforts hold the most value. They reflect integrity, discipline, and a commitment to the process rather than the outcome. Progress that happens in silence is free from the distractions of validation. It's raw and authentic, focused purely on the work itself. When we embrace those quiet moments, we create space to learn, to grow, and to reflect. There's no pressure to impress, no urgency to perform for an audience. This is where true mastery is built, through trial, failure, and the steady persistence to try again. It's not about immediate results or recognition. It's about the deeper satisfaction of knowing you're moving forward, step by step. Progress isn't a performance. It doesn't need an audience or applause to matter. The most meaningful strides we take are often the ones no one ever sees. And that's where real transformation happens. Those quiet moments define us, not by what we show the world, but by the person we become in the process. Discipline is the foundation of any meaningful pursuit. It's the ability to keep going, to show up, and to give your best, even when there's no one applauding or acknowledging your efforts. External validation, while gratifying in the moment, is fleeting. It's unpredictable, inconsistent, and often dependent on factors outside your control. Discipline, on the other hand, is entirely within your grasp. It's a choice you make every day, a commitment to your goals and values, regardless of whether anyone else notices. When you rely on external validation, your progress becomes tied to the opinions of others. It's a precarious way to navigate life, constantly seeking approval, adjusting your actions to fit what others expect, and measuring your worth by how much recognition you receive. But discipline liberates you from that cycle. It shifts your focus inward, grounding your efforts in a sense of purpose and self-respect. You don't need anyone else to tell you you're on the right path because you've already decided it for yourself. Discipline is what keeps you consistent when motivation fades. It doesn't depend on excitement or encouragement. It depends on your commitment to the process. It's what pushes you to work on the days when the results seem far away and the rewards feel intangible. Over time, it's discipline that builds the habits, the resilience, and the momentum necessary for success. External validation is temporary, a momentary boost that fades as quickly as it comes, but the fulfillment that comes from discipline lasts. It's rooted in the knowledge that you've earned your progress, that you've put in the effort not because anyone was watching, but because you believed it was worth it. Discipline makes you independent of praise and resilient in the face of criticism. It's the quiet power that drives real, lasting change. Silence creates a space where the noise of the world falls away, leaving only what truly matters. In silence, there is no competition for your attention, no external voices pulling you in different directions. It allows your mind to settle and your thoughts to sharpen. Without the constant hum of distractions, you can give your full attention to the task at hand, diving deeper into the work and exploring it with clarity and intention. Distractions have a way of diluting your energy. Every interruption, no matter how small, fragments your focus and pulls you out of the flow state where creativity and productivity thrive. Silence, on the other hand, acts as a reset. It creates a mental environment where you can think clearly, process ideas fully, and approach challenges with a sense of calm. It's in this quiet that you can reflect, plan, and execute with precision. Silence also cultivates a deeper connection with your work. When the noise fades, you're no longer performing for an audience or reacting to external demands. Instead, you're able to engage with the process itself, free from judgment or comparison. It becomes about the quality of the effort rather than the quantity of attention it draws. In this space, your focus deepens, your creativity blossoms, and your best work begins to emerge. There is power in stepping away from the chaos and finding moments of quiet. It's in these moments that you reclaim control over your thoughts, prioritize what matters, and channel your energy where it's most needed. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's the presence of focus. It's the foundation for clarity and the starting point for meaningful work. Ownership is about taking full responsibility for your efforts and outcomes, regardless of who's watching. When you work for yourself, you shift the focus from external rewards to internal growth. It's not about proving something to others or seeking their approval. It's about building something that reflects your values, your dedication, and your vision. This kind of work carries a deeper sense of fulfillment because it's entirely yours. When recognition becomes the driving force, the work starts to lose its authenticity. Efforts can become superficial, tailored to what will gain the most attention, rather than what holds the most meaning. In contrast, working for yourself allows you to align your actions with your true purpose. It's not about how many people applaud you, but about the pride you feel in knowing you've done something worthwhile, something that resonates.